Today marks 3 years since the fall of Afghanistan, when 13 U.S. service members were killed by a bombing at the airport in Kabul. Thanks so much for joining us at 10. I'm Shay Razi.
I'm Morgan Martin. We remember those 13 heroes lost in the bombing at Abbey Gate and those civilians impacted by the tragic event. Fox 23's Paris Rain is live in the newsroom after speaking with the veteran who was a sergeant at the time and worked to get some of our Afghan partners to safety.
Yeah, I spoke with Michael Cook, who says the tragic day inspired him to write a book. But he never forgets those 13 troops who he calls heroes that helped save his friends' lives.
This is the day where, during the evacuation, we were trying to get all of our Afghan partners that worked with us out of the country because they were obviously in danger of the Taliban taking over the country.
Michael Cook served as a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army and says Monday, August 26th, marks 3 years since the bombing in Kabul, Afghanistan, at a place called Abbey Gate,
which was the main escape route to get into the airport and out of the country and to America for our Afghan partners. And during that bombing, 13 of our troops were killed, as well as about a little over 200 of our Afghan partners and Afghan civilians were killed in the bombing.
To pay respects, for the last 2 years, he has visited the grave sites of some of those soldiers in Arlington.
We remember the heroes that served there. We remember the heroes that died there. And we just got to, keep it in our thoughts so it doesn't happen again.
Michael feels as if we have forgotten about what happened 3 years ago. And that's one reason he wrote his book, Life and Death at Abbey Gate.
It's the story mainly of my two friends, Abdul and Mohammed. I befriended on my deployment to Afghanistan. So then when Afghanistan started falling to the Taliban in the summer of 2021, they reached out to me for help. So the book is just, our trials and tribulations of trying to get them out of the country.
He says the tragedy in Afghanistan continues.
This evacuation of our Afghan allies still isn't over. A lot of our partners that are well-deserving to be here are still stuck in Afghanistan. They're still being hunted every day by a brutal enemy.
He hopes people remember those 13 U.S. troops and nearly 200 Afghan people killed 3 years ago today. Live in the newsroom covering news that matters, I'm Paris Rain, Fox 23 News.
The Department of Defense released a report back in April about the attack at Abbey Gate that says the attack, quote, was not preventable at the tactical level. Some lawmakers, including Oklahoma U.S. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, are calling for someone to be held accountable for the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan.